I don't know if this is appropriate to start with the peace greeting or not, so to be on the safe side, I'll refrain for now. Let me say that today, 3 students came to see me in the office, and I didn't get a chance to do some admin work I needed to do. That meant I had to stay later at the university. They showed up interrupted. Now, they came one at a time right after each other, but coincidentally, it was 3 of them, and they're all impulsive and they interrupt everybody all the time. So when the third one came in, I said, "This is great. Close the door, please. Let me have a word with all of y'all." And I told them about themselves, and one of them, Metal Mouth, always has to talk back. So I said, "Listen, Metal Mouth, I would defenestrate your ass if you keep this up. I don't know what that means. It means I'll throw you through a window. Stop it. You interrupt a lot. You don't spend enough time in the classroom to always be marked present every hour. So we're waiting on you to get yourself marked absent once more so we can drop your ass. I'm waiting on that because you're a problem." "You know about my problem?" "Yeah, nigga, I know. I just don't care. You do whatever the hell you have to do to control it. You are a distraction even to other students, especially to Abdullah. Now, he'll focus if you don't distract him, but you just have to distract him. That's why I told him that he had my permission to punch you in your jaw the next time you do it, and I'll tell an administrator it was self-defense. Now get out of my office and go eat your breakfast." Then I had to turn to Lawyer and Fish Lips. And I had to tell them, "You guys like to interrupt a lot. Not quite as bad as Metal Mouth, but you like to interrupt a lot. You guys you like to joke. That's cool, but you joke too much to where other students are losing focus. You either put a lid on it. Either you know when to stop, which is fine, or you don't do it at all. Those are your 2 options. Now fit the guck out my office and go eat your breakfast so that I can do this work." And as they left out, as soon as they opened the door to leave, then in came 2 good students that are kind of quiet, but they mean well. And they told me, they said to me, "The day before yesterday when you let whoever wanted to leave, and you still marked them present, that was one of the best days for us. We learned. And if every day was like that, we could have fixed our mistakes months ago." I told them, "Your marks, which are failing, are probably due to how you came in unprepared. But I'll be honest with you guys. If uh, you might be right. So what this means, though, is that since the administration is not dropping them fast enough because they're getting to this, they're getting to enough absences, and then they decide I want to not go past to where I could get dropped, so that we're stuck with them. So what it means is that you have to learn when you're not here, and then you come to the university to practice it for the exams. It's really about it." And they said, "Okay." You know, I'm telling you this because these were lions complaining to me about hyenas. You're dealing with the same thing when you're stuck in the West. You're dealing with lions and hyenas. Now, whether we're talking romantically, maritally, or just professionally at the job, you're coming across both. The question is going to be, how can you be fair to the lionesses when you were shunning the hyenas? And my answer to that is, that you must make it such that whoever's looking for your cover and your protection has to come and get it. It doesn't mean you don't love and cherish a woman that's going to love and cherish you, a lioness. Shouts out to Crimson Cure for the terminology of distinction. But it does mean that, you see, you you be the prize. You already have to be, but you be the prize, and you be as prizy of a prize as you can. But when the German shepherds see this and the hyenas see this, of course, you're a target for them. When when they approach, you have to say you've got to be a lioness. That's a requirement. You must be a lioness. Then when they approach after this point, they have to be willing to share, maybe about two to a man. Not because they're worth less, it's not that, but it's because, frankly, they do have a real dilemma on their hands in nature and in civilization. The literal hyenas are a match for the lionesses, which in turn are also a match for them, but they outnumber the lionesses. And in civilization, the metaphorical hyenas outnumber the lionesses. So both of them are going to require some sort of assistance from the lion in order to cope. The male lions do have an advantage over the hyenas. They're on average a bit stronger than the lionesses. But by the same token, they also have an advantage of a mane that makes it such that while the hyenas have the jaw strength to bite them, the hyenas don't have the vision of the actual neck and throat and chest to do much damage. There is that. It's hard for them to bite through the hair, even though it's just hair. It's thick, so it's hard for them to bite through the hair to get a really solid grip around the throat. And so I mention that because this makes it to where the lion can bite them far more easily than they can effectively bite the lion. Now, can they grab? They can break a lion's bones if they bite a limb, but they cannot both break the lion's bones and repel the lion's own bites and attacks on the other limbs. That's where it is that they don't really stand much of a chance against a male lion, even if it's several of them. And male lions also know how to psychologically torment them. They will grab one and they will maul and murder, sometimes slowly and in steps, do so to the hyena in front of the others. Trying to goad some of the hyenas to come to the rescue of the victim so that he'll have more victims. He psychologically torments them. He gives them a very difficult choice. You are going to leave us the F alone and keep a distance, or you're going to watch members of you die one by one coming close to us. And eventually, I will find out where you live and I will run up on you and I will kill your cubs while you watch. And if you come to save them, I'll just kill you too, and I'll do it painfully. The only way that hyenas can avoid being traumatized psychologically by lions is to feed them the luck alone. And that means leaving alone the lionesses too. If the lionesses are eating a kill that they've taken down and the hyenas are hungry, they can avoid this by sitting back and waiting till the lionesses finish and get their fill. Now, if they could do that, they can avoid trouble, because when the lionesses begin to call for the male lion and he hears that call, if he's within hearing range, and then he comes in, it's held for the hyenas. In civilization, the metaphorical hyenas have a much better chance of doing some things that they want to do to the lionesses should they choose to. Now, for you and I to go around and just biting them on the neck and then leaving them twitching, bleeding out, it's really uncivilized. We have instincts against that, even to the hyenas. But we would defend our lionesses from a hyena, and everybody would understand that. We either hold her away from the hyena, or we either hold the hyena away from our lionesses, or she pulls a weapon, then we might harm her. We're not going to tolerate that. The lionesses, though, of civilization, the metaphorical ones, though they're going to need some of the protection, some of the defense, you must understand that it is not your job to go and offer this to them. It is still theirs to come and seek it from you and make that bargain. Not because we hate even the lionesses and they're not worthy. It's not because of that. But it is because, you know what? You've already got hyenas coming at you. You got German shepherds coming at you, trying to get that same protection so that they can be German shepherds or hyenas with impunity. Or they look and say, he wouldn't protect me while I'm doing my shuck fit, so never mind. He's a chump, he's a wimp. And they make sure that someone hears them say you're a chump and a wimp, because they know that you wouldn't protect them when they're doing BS. But the lioness is not seeking to abuse your protection. However, she does need it. And since she's the one that requires that protection, and also the lioness has sent a message that she's a lioness and therefore is not really to be approached like that, which is fine. That means she must go and get the protection that she wants. The lioness still is not going to learn to value you until she has to go and get you. Not because she's worthless, but because she must demonstrate that she's not subject to the brainwashing that you are. That's why. That is the only way that in the West you can afford to give a lioness a shot. She has to come get you and show you she's a lioness. Otherwise, there's nobody worth being with in the West. The ones who are, you won't know unless they come show you that they're lionesses and they come and get you up. If they don't do that, you have no way of knowing, and that is not your fault. You keep your head low, you do your job, you save as best you can, and you get ready to fit the guck out. The question is where. That's all. That's all it is. But if you are a lion, even you do not approach lionesses in the West. For one, how the hell are you going to know they're lionesses? I hope that what I've said has been of benefit. this is inconvenient for the lionesses. They're actually used to making the fewest approaches. Some of that is for good reason, and some of that is for bad reasons, but they're used to making the fewest. But I'm not saying this to punish them. I'm saying this because this is a result of them saying, well, because I'm a lioness, I'm not going to do anything to compete with a hyena, even if that hyena is wearing a lioness's skins. And that was the mistake. I do hope that this clears some things up for you, and I hope that this helps. As always, thank you for listening. Black heart, black mind, black out. Assalamu alaikum, and black heterosexual non-select male power because they don't like it, and black patriarchy until extinction of Judgment Day. Thank you for flying with us again here on Jet Black Airways, where the phrase jet black is also a verb. Keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender, justice, forever.